for your patience, everyone. This evening, obviously, with a lot of you signing up for tours and then a little bit of lag time for other people to arrive, meant that some of you had to wait for a while patiently, so thank you for that. Welcome, everyone. It's great to have families back on site. I think this is the first time since this event last year that we've actually allowed to have events like this with our families on site. My name's Simon Piacenti. I'm the head of Waterford, and Waterford's our Year 7 and 8 sub-school. At St Joseph's, we begin all our gatherings with an acknowledgement of country and prayer. So please make welcome Mary Malone, our Acting Director of Identity, to give our acknowledgement and prayer for this evening. Please make her welcome.
Good evening, everyone. We honour and respect the traditional owners of the land of the St Joseph's College campus, the Wadawurrung people of the Kulin Nation, who educated their children for many years in this area. We thank the elders for passing on the stories of this land. We are inspired and nurtured by their wisdom, spirituality and experience. We commit ourselves to actively work alongside them for reconciliation and justice. As we take our next step, we remember the first steps taken on this sacred land. Please join me in making the sign of the cross. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. We thank you, God, for the life of our founder, Edmund Rice. He opened his heart to you present in those oppressed by poverty and injustice. May we follow his example of faith and generosity. As a Catholic school in the Edmund Rice tradition, our St Joseph's College community, we bring many diverse families, students and teachers together to form our St Joseph's College community. May our school be a place of welcome, full of understanding and respect, a place of courage, discovery and learning. Bless our school community in 2021, particularly our new Year 7 students and their families. May our community be a place where compassion, innovation and integrity are evident in our everyday lives. Amen. In the name of the Father, the Son and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Simon.
Thank you, Mary. This year the college will celebrate its 86th year educating boys in Geelong. It's my pleasure to welcome you into our community. Tonight we have Year 7 parents and carers, as well as parents of our new students that are starting in Year 8 to 12. Some of you are St Joseph's veterans with your youngest son beginning in Year 7, and we're delighted to have you here again. We understand that all of your sons are different, and your involvement demonstrates that you value his learning as well as his school. Positive parent participation in school and learning is a proven contributor to student success. The aim tonight is for everyone to hear some general information about our school before our Year 7 parents and carers will move off with their son's homeroom teacher, and the new parents of Year 8 to 12 students will meet some of our other staff. Besides welcoming you to the college, the aim of this evening is to provide an opportunity for parents to meet other parents. You will have an opportunity to meet your son's homeroom teacher, some subject teachers and some of our specialised staff. This is the first step in building the critical partnership between home and school. I'd now like to introduce some of our key staff. Michelle Bishop, Director of Curriculum. Our Deputy Principals, Deputy Principal Learning and Identity, Lisa Pope. And Deputy Principal Student and Staff Wellbeing, Mark Kennedy. Our College Principal, Tony Patch, will now say a few words. Please make him welcome.
Thanks, Simon, and good evening, everyone. It's terrific to welcome you all to St Joseph's, and I hope you feel welcome, and I hope that you very quickly, along with your son, come to feel that this is your place. You'll be pleased to know that I'm not well known for long, boring addresses. is that he will become the man that he's capable of being, the best possible version of himself, if you like. And if we work together and get it right, then he will. And of course, we know there are thousands and thousands of St Joseph's old boys who are testament to that. We are all families, not students. So I'd like to spend a few moments just defining the place that you and your son are now part of. We call ourselves the Catholic School in the Edmund Rice tradition, and as such that means that we are, and you are, part of church. And that can be a pretty daunting thought, because historically the Catholic Church has tended to focus on excluding people rather than being inclusive. And here at St Joey's, one of our touchstones is inclusive community. Everybody's welcome, and we strive for that inclusivity. There's an American priest called Ron Rolheiser who emphasises this, and he writes challenging the notion that only people that go to Mass all the time are proper Catholics. And he uses the analogy of family. He says, with a family, some members are in touch all the time. Some hardly ever turn up. Might be Easter and Christmas, might be a family funeral. But Rolheiser says, in the same way as those people are still family, we are all still church, and we belong. Our theme for 2021 is living the golden rule, or treat others as you like to be treated yourself. And as Christians, we've known this for 2,000 years. And other faith traditions say basically the same thing in different ways. And if we don't believe the faith traditions, we can believe neuroscience and sociology, because they tell us the same thing. Abraham Lincoln put it succinctly. He said, "When I do good, I feel good." And we'll reinforce this to your son over the next 6 years as we help him to thrive and be happy. And I ask for your support in this. Success in education is multifaceted, and I'd like to ask for some specific support to help us achieve the best educational outcomes for your son. I've spoken about the religious dimension of the school, and I ask you to encourage that in your boys. Our lives are better and happier when we acknowledge the presence of a divine power greater than ourselves, recognise it in others, and honour it by service to them. A few days ago, I was at an online seminar. An experienced principal, who's now a lecturer in education, said he would always tell parents at this opening gathering, "I hope your son fails something while he's at this school." And I thought, wow, that's a bit radical, so I won't go with that. But there's a kernel of truth in it. Because he went on to talk about the importance of getting things wrong, accepting that you do, and you will, and learning from it. And then if you read the Age on the weekend, there was a terrific article by Daisy Turnbull on the weekend, and she wrote, "As a teacher, I've had parents ring me to get their child out of detention because the child is sorry, is busy, didn't do it, or my favourite, it was actually my fault." And she writes, and I teach teenagers, they're 15 to 17. And she points out quite rightly that doing this for your sons removes the child's ability to develop their own self-advocacy skills. And so, when your son gets it wrong, not if, allow him to accept the penalty for whatever that mistake is. Because that's the way adult life is. Actions have consequences, and it's important to learn that. Trying to rescue him from the consequences of actions doesn't help him become the man that he's capable of being. The second point I'd like to make is I'd like you to help us insist that your son does some work outside school. He'll be awake for roughly 5,500 hours this year, and he'll spend about 1,000 of those in class. 18.5% of his waking time, we've got him in front of us in class. We're educators, but we're not solely responsible for his education. A principal I used to work with, in response to multiple questions from an anxious parent about what students overachieve in music and drama and sport, and our care for each other and our extended community, I think is stronger than any other school that I know. Academically, our creative students do exceptionally well. We had 5 boys with an ATAR over 99 last year. But we also know that many boys don't achieve their full academic potential because they simply don't do enough work. I wish that what happens in that 18.5% of his time that we've got him were enough for him to maximise his academic potential, but it's not. So homework is important. Our mantra is most students, most subject, most nights should have meaningful work to do. My next point is that we ask and expect full buy-in to the life of the college. Our experience confirms that boys and families who fully embrace what's on offer at school experience better educational outcomes. Please ask your son to try debating, join the band, try out for every sports team, go to every sports day, even if he hates swimming and it's cold and he can't swim, because there are huge benefits to buying into the full life of the college. There are many opportunities for you to model that involvement. The parents and friends, the canteen volunteers, the Men's Association. That modelling is really important, and you'll hear some more about that later on. So in summary from me, please help him focus on the service of others. Please support the values we expect of him. Allow him to be accountable when he gets it wrong. Insist that he does some work at home. Model involvement and push him to be involved. I hope that the start to your and his 2021 school year has been positive. I thank you again for the privilege of working with you and your son to assist him become the man we know and believe that he can be. And could I now please introduce you to our Director of Community and Development, Kristen Gleeson. Please make him welcome.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome. Part of my role here as Director of Community Development is to work with a number of our community groups within our college. Some of these groups raise funds for our college community, while some of the benefits of other families within the area. All those groups have been the lifeblood of our community for many years, and are a key reason why your son will enjoy the facilities he has access to over his college journey. Some ways you can be involved, and I'll just list and give you a bit of a description of each. Our care group provides meals for families who are experiencing difficulty through either illness, bereavement, or other circumstances. Care group members on occasion provide a meal which will later be delivered to families in our community. We ask you to feel welcome to make contact should you be experiencing any ill health or difficulty at any time. Our Old Collegiate Association, of which your son is a life member when they begin here in Year 7, hold various functions and events to ensure our alumni remain connected to our college. Through our boarders reunions, 10, 20-year reunions, the Young Joey's Connection, and our college golf day, which Tony touched on. They support the college financially with $20,000 to our bursary each year, and mentoring young Joeys where possible. In 2019, the Old Collegians donated $150,000 to our Every Boy, Every Dream campaign, assisted in the funding and building of the Westport Gymnasium and the Performing Arts Centre that was completed in August last year. Cameron Ling, who's here with us this evening, and many of you may know, has joined us to manage our alumni community. Cameron started at the college back in 1993, and we think it's testament to the work of the college and that someone such as Cameron wants to come back and be a part of this community and have an impact going forward. Our Men's Association, which Tony mentioned, celebrated 60 years last year. The importance of this group, and when you walk around here and have that short tour tonight, a lot of that's due to the work of that group. And they basically provide 4 hours a person per year, makes a huge difference to the college. I mean, Sunday mornings between 9 and 11 a.m. and refreshments are provided. The College Foundation was established in 1995 to ensure the long-term future of our college. And last year, we obviously celebrated 25 years. I'd like to invite Lucy Dripps, current parent and committee member of the foundation, to let you know why your foundation is important and how you can support. Please make Lucy welcome.
Thanks for the opportunity to provide you with a brief insight into the philanthropic arm of St Joseph's College. 2021 begins the 8th year of my journey with St Joseph's. It's been a true partnership, ever evolving with the ebb and flow of school and home life. St Joseph's has a role for everyone, and over my time I've been lucky enough to find my fit with a place on the foundation board. I love being where you are now, listening to the wall of information, trying to take it all in. I hope an evening such as this confirms that you've made the right choice of school for your son and that they are in great hands. It's an exciting time for new families and another chance for returning families to reconnect with the school. As Christian said, the St Joseph's College Foundation was established in 1995 and has provided the structure for the organisation and administration of investment raising, fund placement, growth and expenditure programs of the college. Through this, the Foundation is able to support the education of our sons here at the college, utilising donated assets and income to do this, aligning the College Foundation with the values of Edmund Rice schools across Australia and the world. Most people hear foundation and immediately think bricks and mortar and fundraising, but there is more to us. The foundation provides the college community the opportunity to assist students that might not otherwise be in a financial position to attend the school through bursary fee assistance. The foundation has also provided that assistance to music students who might not be in the position to continue with their musical pursuits. And during 2020, the foundation supported those impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic by contributing $30,000 towards family fee support. Significantly, in our most trying times during 2020, foundation membership continued to increase, and support for our bursary program raised over $100,000 for our annual giving campaign, a step towards his future. The foundation has also established a bequest program, where families within the college community might consider a gift to the college in their will. A bequest is your opportunity to leave a lasting gift that will impact future generations of St Joseph's boys and secure the college's future. A bequest can be a way of saying thank you, honouring a loved one, investing in future generations and giving back for what you've enjoyed at the college, or supporting a student in perpetuity. The McNeil Society is a way of acknowledging those that have made a bequest to the college. And yes, the foundation contributes to the bricks and mortar projects at the college also, to ensure that our sons have the best possible facilities available. In 2019, we ran the very successful Every Boy, Every Dream campaign that assisted with the completion of the gym at West Court and the extension to the Performing Arts Centre. All this was achieved through the generosity of the wider college community. The power of the foundation comes through the college community. We all recognise the opportunity that this school provides for its students. The foundation is the vehicle through which you can contribute to the outcome of the Joey's boys. To be a philanthropist, you do not have to be Bill Gates. Being a philanthropist is something everyone can do as we seek to promote the welfare of others. No contribution to annual giving or other fundraising activities is ever too small, because collectively we can make a difference to both the college facilities and to the lives of its students. Don't be afraid to get involved and enjoy your connection with the college, now and beyond your son's schooling years. Thank you.
Thank you, Lucy, for a fantastic description. I'd now like to welcome Michelle Watkins, a co-president of our Parents and Friends, to let you know a little bit about that group and how you can get involved, and Samantha Norris, who is also a co-president of that group.
Good evening. My name is Michelle Watkins, and along with my co-president, Sam Norris, I would like to extend a very warm welcome to you on behalf of the St Joseph's Parents and Friends. Sam's son is in Year 10, and my youngest son is currently in Year 8. Having had boys graduate in 2017 and 2019, I have been here some time, but would say a highlight has been my involvement with the Parents and Friends, where I've met many people and felt I've really become part of the school community. As parents and carers of boys enrolled at St Joseph's, you are all automatically part of the Parents and Friends Association and are welcome to attend any of our monthly meetings at any time this year or throughout your family's journey with St Joseph's. Our meetings are short and informal, more like a friendly gathering, where we plan social and fundraising events for our school, as well as the benefit of the wider community. Our meetings never go on for hours. We understand that people work and have after-school commitments, so we alternate with Monday and Tuesday nights and also provide refreshments. Usually at this point, I would tell you about everything we did last year, and I will still do that, because despite all of our events being rescheduled, then being postponed indefinitely, we still managed to meet via Zoom. Why, you ask, if there were no events to be planned? Because our P&F meetings are also attended by a deputy principal who presents the school report. This may be about new initiatives, staff changes, upcoming events and programs, or, as was the case last year, how our school was responding to the challenges that 2020 presented us with. The P&F is a connection to our school for the parents. It's a conduit for which we are certainly very grateful. In a normal year, and that is what we are intending this year, or should I say a COVID normal year, we hold a trivia night, run fun food days for the boys, cater for the old collegiate reunion, and also hold our annual fashion dinner that has in the past provided funds for safe drinking water, school buildings and many other things for the benefit of the students in the parish of Mania in Uganda. We also sponsor a CPR class that is offered to our Year 12 students as a parting gift that may someday save a life. We like to have fun, and on the eve of lockdown 3.0 this year, we managed to finally have our comedy night. It was enjoyed by those that attended, and the feedback was that it should be an annual event. So keep your eye on the newsletters and emails for more to come. Our next meeting is tomorrow night at 7 p.m. in the staff room. All of our meeting dates are on the website, our Facebook page and Instagram. So if you keep an eye on the social media, you should find out what's going on. Come along any time and see what we're all about. We look forward to meeting you, and once again, welcome to St Joseph's.
Thank you, Michelle and Sam. For any of those groups, we have parent participation forms that are on the website, so please don't hesitate to register there. Someone from the community development team or the office will be in contact with any of those. So welcome to the Jones family, and I'll pass you back to Simon. Thank you.
Thank you, Kristen, Lucy and Michelle. There are a number of the key staff who are involved in supporting the boys, and I'd just like to introduce a couple of them now. Mark Turner, our Educational Support Coordinator. The college offers extensive student support services, including educational support for students with specific needs and psychological support and referral. Our college clinicians include psychologist Joanne Chappell, Sarah Hanley, who's currently on maternity leave, Amanda Williamson, and social worker Mary Holmes. Our psychologists offer crisis support and assessment and will offer a point of contact for the students in need at school. They then work with families in helping them find appropriate external psychologists for ongoing therapy work. Through the work done with students, our psychologists can help to identify students with specific learning difficulties, and our psychologists play an important role in teaching and learning of students with diagnosed learning difficulties. They help to formulate the teaching recommendations for the students with these needs. Please ensure that any previous assessments undertaken by students have been provided to the college, so that teachers can be made aware of any recommendations. Primary schools are not permitted to pass on these documents, so please don't assume that this has happened as part of the transition process. Parents and carers should also be aware that funding arrangements for students has changed over the last 2 years. All schools are now required to participate in the national consistent collection of data to secure funding for students with learning needs, disabilities, social and emotional conditions, physical, sensory or cognitive challenges. To support with this, the college has appointed an NCCD coordinator, Natasha Scarlett, who can be contacted at the college if you have any further questions regarding academic funding. There is a music information night on Tuesday the 23rd, that's tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. in the Performing Arts Centre. This is rescheduled from last week, and it's an information evening and an opportunity for Year 7 students and new students and their families to find out more about our music program, to meet staff, to learn more about the different instruments and tuition on offer at our school. We hope that there will be an opportunity for each student to discover the sounds of each instrument and the possibilities of learning and making music for themselves. The evening will commence with a performance of our senior band and be followed by demonstrations concluding at around 6:30 p.m. So it's now week 5. The boys have had a chance to find their way around, meet their teachers and classmates. Some students come from schools where they know a lot of other students, others have come from much smaller schools. Some students are confident, others are much quieter. Each boy is different. We are an inclusive community that appreciates and values the diversity and difference that makes up our school population. Our staff are committed to working in partnership with you and are collectively very experienced in dealing with the many situations which may arise over the years of secondary schooling. At this point, I'd like to pass on a little bit of advice that I believe is relevant to the journey that the boys experience through school. It comes from Neil Danaher's book, When All Is Said and Done. Neil wrote this book for his grandchildren as he wanted the opportunity to pass on his life experience and knowledge gained through his experience to them. In one of the chapters, he refers to adopting a motto of grow through what you go through. To help this process of growth, he refers to 4 modes of life that we can experience from time to time, depending on what part of a particular journey we are on. These modes are surviving, striving, thriving, and arriving. Surviving is when we are consumed by the most basics of struggles, and just getting to the end of the day seems like an achievement. Striving enables us to focus on getting better. It requires hard work, persistence, and resilience. And it helps us move out of survival mode. Thriving. When we are thriving, we're able to start helping others around us. We stop being so self-centred, and we look at how we can have a positive impact on our peers. We help those who appear to be struggling to survive. Arriving is when we can just be. We're composed, calm, and can really just be present and enjoy the moments that we experience. I would imagine that most of our new students have been in survival mode for most of the last few weeks. Many will continue in this mode for much of the first semester. Some maybe feel like they've arrived already. There's no time frame to transition through these modes. Some will arrive sooner, and others will still feel like they're surviving in term 3. Different aspects of our lives will transition through these modes at different rates. I might feel like I'm thriving in maths, but I feel like I'm surviving in English. And all that is okay as long as we're looking to grow through what we are going through and actively seek the support that will help us move out of that survival mode. Things can put us back into survival mode when we have conflict with friends. My favourite teacher changes class and I get someone new. Homeroom change at the end of the year and all of a sudden I don't know anyone in my class again. I don't get picked for a sports team I was hoping to make. These experiences build our capacity to work hard, overcome obstacles, persevere and build resilience. Developing these qualities enables us to pick ourselves up and start striving again. Our wellbeing programs such as the Resilience Project provide students with the tools that will help them build their capacity to grow out of the challenges that school and life provides. Our goal would be that students experience all of these moments during their 6 years at college, and by the time they reach their senior years, they come into school feeling like they belong, that they've found their passion, that they've found what they're good at, and they're able to enjoy the moments that are present each day. But they still have the skills to pick themselves up when they make mistakes or when things don't quite work out the way they thought they would. This part of the evening is where we do invite our parents of new Year 8 to 12 students to move off with Michelle Bishop and Lisa Pope to the careers room. Thank you for joining us. And I'll now hand over the microphone to our Year 7 coordinators, Brendan Reid and Peter Malone.
Well, Peter and I would like to take this opportunity to thank you for coming along tonight. It's certainly been a busy start for the years to the year with new classes for the boys, many new students and teachers, old school maths, the athletics day, and a sprinkling of remote learning thrown in. These are very important days for your son to be part of, so that they can get to know other boys and also begin to understand the life and culture here at St Joseph's College. This term we also have Year 7 Camp and the Swimming Carnival, which offers students more ways to be involved in the life of the college, and we expect all students to participate in these days. Last week we had a cyber safety presentation, and hopefully the boys have mentioned this to you at home, and perhaps you've had some follow-up conversation around that. It's really important to monitor your son's social media for many reasons, as you would know. One key reason, however, is that this is often the place where negative commentary, group mob mentality, exclusion and harm to others can occur. Whilst this occurs outside of school hours, the ramifications are usually felt within the school, and it impacts significantly on students. Our theme for this year is Building My Foundation. We've spoken to the Year 7 cohort about making a really good start here at SJC to set up a strong framework for the future. We refer to respectful relationships, academic success, endeavouring to do the best they can and becoming involved with the many opportunities presented before them, such as debating, sustainability, service learning, sport or music, just to name a few. As Simon said, some boys are already feeling comfortable at the college, which is great. Others will take longer and will settle in at their own pace. And it's okay for students at this stage still to feel a bit anxious. There's no simple formula to help all students adjust to secondary school life. Individuals have their own way of coping and dealing with change, new classmates, a bigger school, 8 teachers, not just the one, catching buses, which results in, of course, a much longer day, and homework. Even students who appear to have settled in quickly will still feel challenged at times. This is normal. Helps build key qualities such as resilience, confidence and strength of character. What is important is that we encourage in the boys a positive attitude and help them to develop a growth mindset that in turn helps them to turn challenges into successes. Encourage the boys to think, I can, or I can't yet, but I will soon. Help them to look for the positives and learn from their experiences. Remind them that each day is a new beginning. Through all this, however, communication is vitally important. We work in partnership with you. If you feel that something is not right, talk to your son, speak with your son's homeroom teacher, but most importantly, and I can't emphasise this enough, encourage your son to talk directly with his homeroom teacher or other teachers or Peter and myself if he has any concerns, so that issues can be resolved quickly and hopefully on the very same day that those issues tended to arise. I'll hand you over now to Peter Malone.
Good evening, everyone. I just want to talk through a few logistics before we head off to probably the best part of the evening, which is meeting with your homeroom teachers and find a little bit more information from them. Brendan and I work very closely together. We share an office, we communicate daily, but just to sort of help things move along, Brendan will manage homerooms 7A to E, and I will manage homerooms 7F to K. If issues arise, of course, we'll deal with whatever issues arise, no matter what homerooms they are in, but generally speaking, that's the way we will operate. One of the other points I'd like to mention is just getting messages to the boys through the day. It can be extremely difficult at times. Both Brendan and I teach, and oftentimes we might be out and about talking to students, or we may not be in our office. So the best port of call, really, if a message is important, is to go through reception rather than leaving a message on our voicemail or our email, because we may not see it until it's after the fact. We do ask that students keep their mobile phones in their locker throughout the day, so they should be accessing them throughout the day. But if you wish to obviously text your son and you know they'll check it at the end of the day, then they obviously can access any messages at 3:20. I want to talk about the camp for a little bit. The homeroom teachers this evening will speak a little bit more about that, but there's a few messages that I'd like to pass on. And one of them is that please don't allow your sons to bring any snacks or lollies or extra food in their bags. Basically, it's a safety issue with lots of boys with allergies or anaphylaxis and those sorts of things. There's plenty of food on camp, they are well fed, it's good food, and so please, if you could be fairly strict on that. The one exception to that, of course, is the first day of camp, when boys are required to bring their own lunch and morning tea on that first day. Speaking of allergies, can we also, on the camp packing list, we refer to roll-on deodorant, not aerosol spray, again, because that can trigger off allergies and also set off fire alarms, which is not something we particularly would like to happen. With regards to mobile phones, extending that, we ask that no mobile phones are brought to camp. Staff have access to mobile phones, and boys do not need to be contacting home. If there is a need for home to be contacted, the boys will speak to the staff on camp, and then we will contact home. But one of the reasons behind that is it allows us to deal with any concerns that arise, and often they can be dealt with fairly quickly on site without causing undue stress on yourselves. Really important to label all clothing. We emphasise to all boys, and as you know, teenage boys alike, they leave things lying around everywhere, and despite the fact that we ask them to keep their gear tidy, there is always a plethora of clothing left behind. So please label everything with first name and surname. There's lots of Zacks in the school and lots of Michaels and so on, so please both names. That includes towels, pillows, all sorts of gear. I want to emphasise too that getting home, the buses from camp will arrive in time for school buses at the end of the day. But please make a clear plan with your sons as to how he is getting home, whether you'll be picking up, where you'll be picking him up, or whether he needs to get the bus home. One of the points I want to mention too, and those homerooms that are going on the third camp on the 24th to the 26th of March, it's actually an early departure. The other first two camps will be leaving, will go to normal and leave after homeroom, but that third camp will be leaving arriving at school at 7:30 for a 7:45 a.m. departure. It's a little bit further, we need to travel on that day. It's about a 3-hour trip. I also want to emphasise medication about camp. You will need to complete a medication directions form for any medication the boys will need to take on camp. We have a staff member who's a dedicated first aid officer for the duration of the camp who will be dispensing the medication at whatever times are indicated on that form. That form can be found on the upper room along with the camp details, position forms, packing list. And all the medication needs to be handed to homeroom teachers either prior to the camp or on the morning of the camp. And obviously any student with asthma according to our upper room will need to have their puffer with them at all times. The final point about camp is, I just want to emphasise too, unfortunately if your son is unwell, we really are unable to take him on camp. It puts into jeopardy the rest of the students on camp as well as the staff and the organisers or the people who run the camp. So please, if your student is unwell, let us know and unfortunately he won't be able to attend. The other point I want to mention about camp too is we do need students to bring masks on camp. It is on the packing list and the boys have been really good at school about wearing their masks, and that's terrific. Sometimes they forget, but we ask that, in fact, even as a habit at school, it would be great to have spare masks in school bags. But even on camp, they certainly need several masks for times when they're needed. Finally, to the most important part of the evening tonight is meeting the homeroom teachers this evening for a Q&A and for some more information. This is really an opportunity to meet those homeroom teachers and some of the classroom teachers of that particular homeroom, not really to get individual feedback or academic feedback. There'll be an opportunity for that later in the term, parent-teacher interviews, on Wednesday the 31st of March and Thursday morning, 1st of April. I'd like to thank you all for attending tonight. We have a wonderful team here at Year 7. And we have the best intentions for your sons here at St Joseph's. We work hard to ensure that St Joseph's is a welcoming place where they feel comfortable to come here each day and learn. So we look forward to working with you to make 2021 a great year for your sons. And as I say, I'd like to thank you for coming. So I'd like now to introduce the homeroom teachers. And the homeroom teachers, if they can come forward when I call out your name, and the parents involved in whose sons are in that homeroom, please follow your homeroom teacher to the venue to continue the session.